I've come to inform that we've officially unbalded Anon on a few CGs now. Oh boy. Oh. Depending on how I feel, I might do another stream after this. Been itching to get back into Cyrillin. Gremlin romancing time. I don't know how far we're gonna get into it. I'm going to skip what I can, for sure. So now he looks like he's just in his 40s with a bald spot. That's all now. I get back to working on that sketch I sent you. Alright. Wait, just sent, or you talking about the draft? The draft thing, okay, I thought so. Yeah, I saw some new stuff dropped from the Boru. There was a Meteor game and then something else. I have it downloaded, hold on. Do I have it? Oh yeah, I never unpacked it. Snook game, Derivative Volcadera Knights demo. Wherever that is. Hey Mandy. Don't know how to call project that's pure code, honestly. I don't know. Gonna warn you right now, Porku. First half of Max's route is trippy, and the art for her doesn't make it any better. I got flashbanged. I went to the Steam community tab for this game, and I got flashbanged. I'll just say I was looking for, because apparently I don't like. I used the site to open the files. And it's using the same thing that Wani Gator does, where they like have different faces and emotions, but like a headless body. And I get why that's a thing, but at the same time, like me as someone extremely lazy hates it. I was uncomfortable for most of the part. You'll see why. It's Max. Someone who looks like a child. Of course I'm going to be uncomfortable. I'll go for one more minute. Just because I'm dreading this. I also did the nose rinse thing too, so we'll see how long this lasts. At least I'm not doing any fucking weird voices like in Dancing Towards the Ozone. Don't worry, they're fixing it. Me, as someone who doesn't want a game size of 500 megabytes like Dancing Towards Tomorrow, I love to work with layers. Yeah, I get that. I get that. It's just if I got to put a picture together, I'm going to snip the thing from the game itself, not the files, but the game itself, and just throw it through background remover and use that because I'm lazy. That's why my streams are the worst, probably. The only reason I swear that people still watch me is like I'm the only one who's out there one after the other with these things, you know. It's the repetition, even though the quality is so low, and my speech impediments, the stuttering, the getting hooked on things, the retardation. I swear, if someone else was in this game, if any of my competitors actually gave a fuck more than I did, I'd be blown out of the water. And a time traveler. Imagine if Max just said, "The rich guy is just rage baiting you, John." That'd be hilarious. Alright, I've doubled my minutes. I watch you because you are honest with what's wrong, and it helps me at least to fix things. Well, I've gained and lost supporters, especially from the dev side of things. Like, if you go to any of the... Because I know Miguel came and went. The guy from Build That Gator came and went. What is it? Last Second Save came and went. I know there's probably a few others. Wani Gamu's, what is it? Xanon came and went. Like, I don't know. I piss people off. I can't help it. It's just who I am. I know I'm not the best person. I'm far from it. They're funny and won't sugarcoat things. Makes me feel things, man. Yeah, I was looking at his stuff again, and it's like, there's still no upload. Like, what's wrong, buddy? Like, I can understand if it's, like, personal issues. Like, you can't... Like, things off the internet you have to take care of. Like, I understand that, but... I don't know. I haven't looked at... Does he post? You know what? While we're here, let's waste some more time to avoid the blue goblin. I'll check his community tabs. I don't keep tabs on too many people. That's not... it's funny, I could search him better by just saying Snoot instead of his channel name. That's sad. Oh, he doesn't post community updates. That's crazy. How could you, as a content creator, not engage with the community? You're like Mr. House, but for VNs, or Dr. House. That's because of ego, probably. I don't know what I can do. What I do can improve. Others just rage because people tell them the bad parts of your work. I know if I were to make something, people would shit all over it. That's expected. I think it's all just wanting that Dino Pie, like I said before. They want to be the next Snoop game. I don't know. It's a difference when people do it out of passion than out of striking while the iron's already rotted. Pretty much. I don't know. Anyways. We'll get right to it. Where's my mouse? It's so hard to see. Actually, let me get the guide up too. Alright, so I could just blast through everything until I need to help Max get to the saloon. Okay. Zoom, look around. Zip zoom, Max. Lower floors, zip zoom. Fuck, which one was this for? Which one was for Max? Shit. Go back to your cabin. Yeah, there's Max. Max. Why are you holding the bucket in your mouth? Okay, here we go. New dialogue. You know what? I grab Max's arm and pass it over my head. You're practically dragging her in the air now. I'm taking you to the saloon. 1, 2, 3. I lift Max's weight using all of the muscle of my back. To my surprise, he's as light as a feather. You don't really have to do this. And let my cabin mate dehydrate? Nope, that's not happening. Max smirks and looks at the ground as we stand up together. I'm really thankful for this. We just phase in. We walk out of the cabin. We phased because Max is a time traveler. It makes sense. I'll reward you later. Code Red. Code Red. This is not a drill. Mate, don't even mention it. Once we reach port, this will be just another funny story to remember. Code Red avoided. Resuming normal operations. Freaking Max. Back to coding Sia Park. I'll watch the VOD later. Alright. Horu, good luck with that. Once we reach the saloon, the chef rushes towards us, pushing everyone in his way. Giovannato, you look as pale as a ghost. The chef grabs Max's arm, giving us extra support as he walks us to an empty spot on a large table in the middle of the saloon. Now I notice this place is fully packed. Thank you, chef, for giving us a spot to sit. Was Max in my lap or something? Get off of me. We sit at the very end of the table. I don't feel like eating, actually, but I guess I should anyway. Between all the people packed in the saloon, I noticed Victoria wandering around, probably looking for a spot to sit. And of course, it'd be right in front of me. I wave my hand at her, and she approaches. Ma'am, please take my spot. I can eat while standing. I just don't want to be sitting next to Max right now. I stand up from the table and offer my seat to Victoria. She sits with superb elegance while holding her dress. It seems that courtesy hasn't died at all. She looks to the side, giving a judging expression to the rest of the people sitting on the table. Wait, sitting on the table? That's not manners. The moment Victoria sits, Max tries to hide his face under his hat. Buon appetito. The chef places a plate of food in front of Max and puts another on my hands. We haven't ordered yet. The chef's eyes were like cannons from the Draconian kingdom, firing salvo after salvo, projecting nothing but wrath and ruin until I was no more. Metaphorically, at least. But this is exactly what I wanted! Thanks, chef. The chef happily looks at Victoria. Signora, for options we have mashed potatoes alone or with extra. Whatever you consider better, darling. Chef leaves, going back to a small kitchen behind the saloon. Max is eating his food, but something strange is happening. It's Max, it's always strange. He's trying to avoid Victoria's eyesight, even though he's sitting right next to her. Now that I notice the weird-looking meatball next to my mashed potatoes, it looks... Oh no, we're gonna learn about the learn about the meatball earlier. It looks appetizing. Yep, crunch. My fork can't pierce it. I stab it multiple times, but it just bounces back. What sort of Frankenstein meatball is this? Is everything all right, young man? Yes, it's just this meatball. While eating, Max's gag reflexes hit once more due to the ship's motion, making him immediately cover his mouth. I don't feel so good. I should go back to the cabin. Max stands up, taking the plate of food with him. Man. Anyway. Freaking meatball. I'm so mad I could sit on the other side of the full table. I sit in front of Victoria now that Max has left. I have no intention of wasting a free spot now that people are starting to leave the saloon. Young man, didn't your maid teach you not to play with the food? I'm not playing. This thing is... I feel the chef's gaze on my eyes as he places a plate in front of Victoria. Remembering how he squeezed those oranges makes me shiver. Here's your food, Signora. All good? Absolutely. The chef leaves once again, his presence alone making my entire body go on full alert. What's wrong with your cabin mate? I poked the meatball on my plate a few more times. Seasickness? I didn't mean that part, young man. Why was she covering her face? I don't know, he's been fully open with me so far. Pardon me, my brain must be playing games with me. Why is that? Did you just say she? That is correct, young man. You're not kidding, are you? I'm very serious, and I'm also trying to enjoy my food. My brain stops for a moment as it explores space and time. You didn't know? I thought she was a guy. Why would you think that? Because of their clothes and everything. Humans. Young man, in case you didn't know, which is clearly the case, males of her dragon species have a horn on their nose. Does she have a horn on her nose? I have to go check. I gotta go check. I stand up from the table once again with the plate in my hands and rush back to my cabin. Sorry, gotta go. Ah, the youths. Excuse me, chef. Why is my food so hard? Oh no, she's too old. She's too old to eat the meatball. Vavaculo. I don't know what that is. My brain melt. I rush straight back to the cabin. As I enter the cabin, I see Max. Yeah, same thing. Okay, Guide says, what's going on? And I think we went through half of this, I think. I don't know. Max sighs and sits on the bunk. I think, yeah, we went through this. I don't think this one's in here, but... No, next one's roam around the ship, so stay quiet. Here we go. The moment I'm out of the saloon, I see the dragoness from yesterday. Oh, this is new. She's leaning against the railing once again, but this time she turns around to look at me. Excuse me, can I ask you a silly question? Sure thing, lady. I feel like we've been here before, but I can't skip. Oh, please, don't call me lady. I was wondering how long we will be traveling along the coastline. It's getting depressing. I lean against the railing next to her. Well, that depends on how fast we reach the jump point. What's that? Well, you see, I take my time explaining to her about geography and how we are trying to take advantage of the planet's curve. She just smiles as I give her a detailed explanation. You didn't understand a word of what I just said, did you? Nope. You could have said a couple of hours. Yeah, I feel like I've been through this and I can't skip. Fair enough. My name's Eris, by the way. What's yours, Mr. Map? Name's Anon. Eris looks confused as I say my name. What does the non stand for? I'm regretting choosing this name. Apparently you also regret your hairstyle, too. From what I hear. Don't worry, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I appreciate it. Sorry, Iris, I have to go to work. I have to go to work. Oh, you actually work here? I thought you were just another passenger. I do now, apparently. Okay then, I'll see you around. I wave my hand as I walk towards the wheelhouse, which is directly behind the saloon. I feel like we've been through that. Give up. Just give up. Wait for her to come back. roam around the ship. I guess I could take my time to look around the ship. I've been wanting to explore the ship for a while. Go ahead, you are a part of the crew now. Part of the crew. I like the sound of that. See you later, Neela. She just smiles at me while I leave the wheelhouse. You don't want to know what that means? What? I've been roaming around for quite a while by now. Went to the boiler's room. There was not much to see. So this is the cargo floor. To think that the entire lower floors are dedicated to cargo. Oi! Oh wait. Oi! A familiar voice comes from the other side of the room as Max approaches me. Hey mate, what are you doing down here? I'm part of the crew now, and I asked the same thing. What are you doing down here? Well, I'm a part of the crew as well now. Thank you for that. Why thank me? You talked to the first mate for me, didn't you? She gave me a job doing inventory down here. Right. Right, the job offer. The job offer that I told you that I was going to ask for. That job offer. I completely forgot about that. Is it complicated? Not at all, just really tedious. Actually, would you lend me a hand down here? I must admit that even though I'm a dragon, I'm not very strong, so moving boxes and other things is kind of difficult for me. Sure thing, I might also need your help later too. Huh, my help with something? That sounds interesting. What can I help you with? Only brought one pair of extra clothes. I need something to wash them later. Crap! I hadn't thought about washing clothes. I normally did that by reflex at this point. Didn't consider how I'd do it in here. Yeah, it's kind of a necessity here. Man, the only thing I can help you with is some soap that I got listed in the inventory. Wouldn't that be stealing? Not really. Whoever did the cargo inventory list sucked at it. How so? See the barrels over there? Yeah. Well, on the inventory list, it just says there's 4 barrels. Unless the guy didn't want to count, which seems to be the case here. He probably guessed most of the inventory down here. Let me guess, there's more soap than that one that was listed. Correct, sadly. I hate this guy already. No wonder he's not around here. Apparently, he didn't board the ship in time. I'm connecting some dots here. By any chance, was this guy also the navigation officer? Probably. The first mate told me that he was a terrible guide. Is that the same thing? If I ever come... Wait, what? I was reading. If I ever come back to Draconia, I'm going to shove my boot up his... By the way you described it, it was probably him. It was definitely him. Sucks to be him. Anyway, why don't you use the bucket from yesterday? That could be a good idea. I would need to clean it to remove the... My legs get suddenly hit by Max's tail. Soap, yes, you need soap. I'll get the soap right away. Max rushes to the other side of the cargo room, disappearing from my eyesight. And she comes back. Here you go, a bar of soap. Now, could you help me with what I asked you before? Sure thing. I spent almost 2 hours checking the inventory. I really hate that guy now. I don't even know him, and I think the same. So to summarize, there's a box full of wine bottles missing. It could be on the opposite cargo. There's another cargo room passing the boilers. So does that mean we'll have to check tomorrow? Yeah, I can barely move my arms. I'm exhausted. We both sigh as we look at the rest of the cargo. I better get going now. Neela asked me to relieve her at the wheelhouse. Before you go, since you're going to do your own laundry, how much would you ask me for doing my clothes too? My pediatrician mindset sees a business opportunity. Or patrician, sorry. Sees a business opportunity. Somehow my father's fake mustache appeared in front of my eyes with the idea. What can you offer? Depending on the offer, I might consider it. How about I share with you whatever I find down here that shouldn't be here? I mean, that sounds tempting, but I must decline. I want to have Neela on my good side. Darn it! What about sharing your room with a beautiful dragoness like me? We are already doing that. It's the weird lips again. That's a pout. Max pouts with puppy eyes. It doesn't really look like it. Looks like she's having a stroke. How about I share my future desserts with you? Deal. We fist bump, closing the deal. Definitely a time traveler. You are terrible at this, aren't you? Why? Since yesterday, have you eaten any desserts? I got scammed. Deal has been sealed, so you better get used to it. I leave the cargo area without saying a word. My forehead is frowning as hard as it can. Zip zoom, no? What the chef said when she complimented her about food, it's mainly I don't think it would be wise to translate in chat. The moment I enter the wheelhouse, Neela grabs my shoulders and pushes me to the steering wheel. I don't even notice when she sits down on the fixed chair. Oh, okay then. Sorry, my ankles are killing me. For how long am I going to steer the wheel? Just a few minutes. Just let me rest. Isn't this where we put it on, like, autopilot for an hour or something? Well, it looks clear. Or no, we slow it down for an hour. Not that I can see much with the whole ship in front of me. I swear, whoever designed ships has to have the longest neck ever, because most of the ship is blocking my view. How'd you manage to do this before? Before? Oh, you mean before this trip? I used to lock the steering wheel in place. There's a small lock under the wheel, but I don't feel comfortable using it. Sometimes the waves push the ship to the side. Huh, that's convenient. And unlocked again. I continue piloting the ship for a few minutes. It's a good thing the waves are not as big as yesterday when they made us jump multiple times. By the way, Anon. Your cabin mate is working here too now. Oh yeah, she already told me. She? Wait. Wouldn't Neela know, because Neela's a dragon? Brain entering bullshit mode. Protocol failed. Initiating evasive action. Chance of success, 20%. Yeah, you didn't know? I can see some sort of discomfort on Neela's face. Why is she staying at the gentleman's cabin? That could be a problem for the rest of the passengers. I feel like we had this discussion before. Or for her. Evasive action summary, task failed. Well, she didn't say she felt uncomfortable with me around or anything, although we have to knock the door before we enter the cabin. It's too late to accommodate on a different cabin anyway. All of them are already occupied. Evasive action, summary 2, task failed successfully. Resuming normal operations. To be honest, we have a good relationship, I think. We even made a deal for doing... Whoops, I pressed too early. For doing our laundry together. Speaking of that, did you have any luck with it? Absolutely, I already washed my clothes. Good, so it would be okay if you washed my clothes for me? As long as you provide me with soap from the inventory, I guess it could be okay. I'm not really in a position of bargaining right now. I suck at it. Don't worry, I'll give you an extra bonus once we reach the continent. We spend the rest of the afternoon piloting the ship. No, still no more Zoom? It's almost dinner time. Good shift today. Indeed, I'm gonna go eat my dinner portion. I think I'll do the same, but in my cabin. I feel extra tired today. The captain enters the wheelhouse, unlike during the morning. His face switched to his classical smirking face. I guess he only has 2 moods. Afternoon. We both nod our heads as the captain enters. Nothing to report. Good. You can go rest. We leave the wheelhouse stretching our backs in the process. Zip zoom. There we go. What is next choice? Wash your clothes early. Yes. Be gone. Be gone, hag. Better wash my clothes now that I have time. I know that Max should be eating breakfast, but better make sure before going in. 1 second. Close call. I legit thought she was eating breakfast. Enter the cabin once. Max unlocks the door. After Max unlocks the door, she goes immediately back to her bunk. She is totally immersed in her book. How long until you finish the book? Ahem. I heard you the first time. I don't know, a few days maybe? It gets incredibly boring around here. Tell me about it. Well, time to stop procrastinating. I grab the bucket next to the bunk so I can go fill it with water. Oh, isn't this where we got the CG? Now that I'm back, one small piece of soap... Wait, now that I'm back, one small piece of soap, and we are set. You could have asked someone if you could borrow their clothes. Who? There's only 2 humans on board. Ask the other human then. Max carefully turns a page in her book as she keeps talking to me. I'm sure there's many, and I mean many, size differences between us. Aren't you all humans the same? I'm going to ignore that comment. Did I say something wrong? Just forget about it. I grabbed my dirty shirt from yesterday along with my underwear. Scrub, scrub. Squeeze. Repeat. You're becoming a natural with that. You think so? I'm gonna stretch my neck. Oh, God. In fact, let me adjust my seating here. Or lack thereof. The reveal of Victoria's Secrets comes soon enough, but not for now. That's gonna be the last one. Max closes her book as she watches me wash my clothes. I have to admit that it's weird to see a man washing his clothes. Back at home, it was considered a woman's only chore. Max smirks as she continues watching me. Quite a show, ain't it? Could you do mine now that you're at it? Sure. Max stands from her bunk, reaching her luggage. At the same time, I hang my clothes on the hook next to the window. Here you go. Toss everything in the bucket. I begin the repetitive process of scrub and squeeze once again. No modesty at all, huh? We're sharing the same cabin. Besides, they're just clothes. I'm not like one of those weirdos from the East that gets aroused by seeing a woman's underwear. Do they? That's a new level of weird. Scrub, scrub, squeeze. All done. That was surprisingly fast. I stand up once again, hang Max's clothes with the hooks next to my clothes, and backstretch. You've earned your payment for the laundry, so take this. Max reaches for her luggage once again. Would this be enough? She hands me a small plank-looking object covered with brown paper. Is this what I think it is? Where did you get this? Found it while doing inventory. It wasn't listed, so I took it. Even if it counts as payment. Our deal was desserts only. This could technically be a dessert, but it wasn't part of the deal. Max smiles to my reply, and I give her item back. Want to share it then? Are you sure? We're sharing the cabin. Those were your words, not mine. It's only fair we share this then. I don't care about that message. Yeah, we got this CG. I'll just play this one out just because. Max removes the paper covering. Removes the paper cover, revealing a bar of chocolate. It may be old since it appears to have some fat bloom. Yeah, wanna know something funny? Huh? I like when chocolate looks this way. A white layer of fat or sugar. It reminds me of the chocolate that my grandmother used to send for my birthday. Max splits the bar of chocolate in two, handing me one half. When is your birthday? In 2 weeks. Oh god, we have to celebrate Max's birthday on here. Oh god. My birthday's coming up too, and that... No! Keep this goblin away from me. I will remember it. Oh, you don't have to. Well, we'll still be here in 2 weeks, so yeah, I will. I bite the chocolate in. I've had better, but not bad at all. Max follows my example and bites her half as well. Tastes just like one my grandma used to give me. Do you like sweet chocolate? I'm more used to dark chocolate. Sweet or milk chocolate are my favorites. We sit together on Max's bunk as we continue eating the chocolate. You said your grandma used to send you chocolate for your birthday. Did she? Oh, not at all. She's alive and well. It's just that at her age, she can no longer walk like she used to. So a simple trip to the mail service is like a full hike for her. I see. I never met my grandma or any other family members beside my father. Bad relationships? I honestly don't know. Every time I asked my old man why I didn't have a mother, he would just avoid the question. Maybe there's a reason behind it. Probably, but then again, my father wanted to send me to war in a country I can't even name. I see. I'm glad you didn't go. Same. Max bites the chocolate once again. Her eyes look as bright as the first light in the morning. You really like chocolate, don't you? She doesn't answer me with words. Instead, she replies with a nod as she continues savoring the sweet, milky flavor in her mouth. I leave what's left of my share on top of my bunk as I stand up. What's wrong? Oh, nothing really. I'm just saving it for later. You better hide it then. I don't know if I'll be able to resist the urge of another bite. You can have it if you want. Don't worry, I was just joking. Anyway, we have to work now. Ugh. I don't like covering my clothes with dust. Did I tell you that I found a piece of bread that was practically a brick? I wonder who left it there, or when it was left there. Sounds harsh. I leave the cabin without Max realizing I already left. I also found... Hey! Waves are kind of... Wait. Zip zoom, zip zoom. Take a break, I guess. Zip zoom, zip zoom, zip zoom. Smoke break. We're taking a smoke break. What was my next choice? We both need to rest. Show my cargo. Oh, I never chose this one? I could isolate myself from everyone. The front of the cargo area could be a good place to go, where there are plenty of sacks full of grain. I could use them for an improvised bed. Oh, no one followed me down here. I need some time to think alone. Rich guy, right? Max did a good job down here, it seems. My plan for resting on top of the sacks of flour can't be done unless I climb up the pile of sacks perfectly aligned. Could sit on the ground and rest against the sacks, but I guess it's not worth it. I'll just lean against them for now. I've been wondering lately, what will be my place in this world once I get off this ship? Here and now I feel like I'm part of something, that I have a purpose. I could open a business, but the idea doesn't bring me any joy when I think about it. The more I think about my situation, I realize how lonely I am. I have no one left to count on. People that I've met so far might as well just be acquaintances. There is nothing really attaching us together or anything. Once we finish the journey, we will part ways. Why am I so gloomy out of a sudden? Shouldn't it be all of a sudden? Did it really affect me that much? I barely know them, but I do care about them. The chef has been the most traumatizing person I've known so far, but at the same time, he's been kind and friendly with me. Neela has shown me a side of her that little to no people know about. She trusts me without knowing me. I rest the back of my head against one of the sacks as I take notice of the detail on the cargo items. Just like when I was bored back home and didn't have anything else to do while sitting on the toilet, I read the description of any item near me. And as usual, I lose interest right away. Honestly, don't know what to think anymore. Huh? I look around, but I don't see anything out of the ordinary. There it is again. Behind the barrels, maybe? To my surprise, I find a small mouse chewing on what seems to be a piece of cork. Oh no, it's a rat! Weirdly, normally... Weird! Normally I'd be freaked out with mice, but I feel nothing. Hey, little fella. He doesn't react with my words. Why would he? He's just a simple mouse trying to survive. He didn't get graced with the anthropomorphization of most animals here, like scalies. Are you alone too? Obviously, I don't get an answer back, but talking to him makes my mind less troubled. I think I'm worrying too much for people I barely know. No, I don't think the problem is them. Screw you, you don't know me. You might be right. I know that meeting people is part of life. I don't know why, but thinking about Neela's situation makes me feel like I'm being punched in the chest. Do you think so? Wait, do you actually understand me, or am I having a schizophrenic moment? You're just an ordinary mouse, after all. I think I'll name you Risotto. Why, you ask? Wait, you ask why? Well, I can't get my mind off the risotto from yesterday. The mouse dashes across the cargo area, hiding under a space between some wine boxes. So that's where you live. I'll see you around, little fella. I'll leave the cargo area since my shift should be starting any minute now. Max lingers around the cargo, so it makes sense. Right, Porku birthday bash and gets us. No. No, 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 no. This place is as empty as a church during the week. Neither Neela nor the captain can be seen anywhere close. And the wheel was locked in place. Well, I guess it's time to start my shift alone. Well, from here, we don't really have to do much, as long as we follow the compass. Huh? Those are sound effects. Again, with that sound. Wait, I know that sound! Without leaving the steering wheel, I peek through the window and I notice all the sailors working together on the main deck, even the ones that I haven't seen before. Probably the guys working at the boilers, too. Wait, hold on. Why am I reading this? We both need to rest. I think that was... that we both need to rest. Iris. Rest again. Yeah, rest again, yeah. I gave it some thought, but the stress of the day held me back. I think I'll rest instead. She raises an eyebrow, briefly unreadable expression, and then smiles. Suit yourself, I'll be in the saloon while the ship is not in motion. But I'll see you in the wheelhouse, anon, when the wind starts up again. She pokes my shoulder, her tone teasing. Don't make me come looking for you. She then turns and leaves, leaving me standing in the silence. I exhale and take a quick look around before deciding that the common area is a decent spot to relax. I walk there slowly and deliberately in the hopes of finding some serenity before duty beckons again. The typical creaks and whispers of the ship fill the silence as I head downstairs into the common area. Oh no. What are you doing? Here, the air is milder and has a subtle hint of salt and old wood. I see Max and Lady Victoria standing close to the cargo hold door as soon as I get down the last stair. Victoria clasps her hand in front of her and tilts her head slightly. Dear, could you please take me on a tour of the cargo area? Nothing appears to be the same as it was when we originally boarded. Max crosses her arms and huffs a little. I wish I could, but I have inventory to take care of. Many items weren't even accurately listed. Victoria gives a sympathetic nod. Oh, I see. That does sound noteworthy. As she turns slightly, her gaze lifts and lands directly on me. When she sees me, Victoria's eyes brighten. Ah, young man, perfect timing. She smiles warmly as she gestures me over. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I look at Max and then at her, and then I shrug. I don't see a reason not to. Wonderful. I need to find a certain item in the cargo area, but I don't want to bother the lad here while she's busy. Max sighs briefly. It's not that I don't want to help, but if what you're looking for is buried under other crates, it's going to be a pain to move everything around. She points behind her to the dark cargo hold. Things aren't even in order down there. Which is exactly why I need your help. She looks hopefully back at me. So, what do you say, young man? I give a nod. I'll help you, but as soon as the ship starts moving again, I need to get back to the wheelhouse. Victoria waves dismissively, then turns and enters the cargo hold before us. Of course, of course. Max rubs her forehead and sighs even more deeply. Great. Just make sure that everything is left exactly how I had it. Trying to arrange everything has been giving me a headache. I'll be careful. Max gives me a look that conveys her lack of conviction, but she still follows Victoria. I give the common room one more look before entering the gloomy cargo hold and preparing for whatever work Victoria is about to drag me into. The smell of wood and canvas fills the air as I enter the cargo hold. Uneven rows of boxes and barrels are stacked, some with fading chalk markings, and others with no markings at all. Victoria is already a few paces ahead, looking around with a hint of interest. Behind me, Max exhales sharply. All right, I'll be sitting on one of those boxes over there while I finish making my list. She gestures towards the box close to the door, where her notebook is illuminated by a little lamp that flickers. A sharp tug on my shirt stops me in my tracks before I can move on. Max pulls me just enough to convey her point while holding the cloth between her fingers. Listen, I really tried to put some order around here, so don't mess around. She gives me a quick grin, but it's a minute warning. It's a mute warning without any warmth. Got it. With a content nod, she releases her hold and makes her way to the crate she mentioned, leaving me standing there, seeing Victoria hum to herself without any awareness of the conversation. Victoria looks about and hums quietly before coming to a halt in front of a medium-sized wooden box. She turns to me and smiles sweetly after tapping the box with her fingertips. Young man, be a dear and help me lift this, would you? Oh wait, wouldn't Victoria be stronger because she literally fished that one thing out? Max's voice pierces the cargo hold like a whip before I can even reach for it. Do not move anything! I freeze. Victoria blinks and looks over her shoulder towards Max, who's still sitting on her crate, not even bothering to glance up from her notepad. Oh, come on now, dear. It's just one box. Max's eyes narrow as she glances up at last. That one box could be the reason something else collapses. I'm not fixing this whole mess again. Hands linger close to the box, caught in the midst of whatever struggle of wills is about to break out. I look between the two. Victoria lets out a gentle breath while continuing to stare inside the box. How strange. What is? A few beautifully wrapped chocolate bars are visible when she tilts the box slightly. I could have sworn I brought more of these for my friends on the continent. Although she speaks calmly, there's a tinge of perplexity in her voice. As though expecting the missing bars to suddenly materialize, she meticulously sorts through the contents. She shuts the box slowly after a minute and taps the lid with her fingers while thinking. I observe her for a moment, uncertain whether she is truly perplexed or only attempting to remember anything. Max, on the other hand, is still at her crate, writing on her notepad, totally absorbed in her inventory. In the corner of my eye, I observe movement as Victoria hums to herself, as if dismissing the situation. Max. She is no longer writing, but she is still sitting on her box. Instead, her fingers are still on her notebook as she looks at me. She has a strange expression, not impatient like before, nor irritated, more like anxious. As if to invite me over, she tilts her head just a little bit and her eyes dart to her side. I pause and look at Victoria, who is closing the little box slowly while tapping her fingers against the lid while thinking. Then I take a stride closer to Max, careful not to attract attention. And when I get close enough, she leans forward and whispers, keeping her voice low. That chocolate wrapping, the one we thought weren't listed. Her tail flicks gently as she pauses. They look exactly like the ones we ate. My thoughts is rushing. It shouldn't be my thoughts are rushing as I blink. Max and I had eaten the chocolates, the ones we assumed were just missing. A sinking feeling settles in my gut. Victoria quietly lets out an exhilaration while continuing to gaze at the package. Her tone is light as she contemplates. Perhaps I miscounted. I glance back at Max. Her grip tightens on her notepad as she leans in just a little more, whispering urgently. We ate those! Yes, I know. I don't say it with words, but she knows that I mean it. And now, like two guilty kids, we stand here praying Victoria won't figure it out. Victoria, who has no idea that Max and I are experiencing a quiet fear, turns back to face us. She smiles a little as she lifts the box a little. Well, it's hardly a huge deal if a few bars are missing. Are you both interested in getting one? I was planning to give you one anyway, young man, since you've been rather kind to me before. Max immediately shakes her head, violently. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept. Those chocolates are way too expensive. She waves her hands as if the mere thought of taking one was offensive. I force myself to answer nonchalantly, maintaining a neutral demeanor. I'm not really a fan of milk chocolate. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Max suddenly stops moving. Her eyes enlarge as if I had just revealed that I had committed some sort of unimaginable crime. Her mouth visibly drops. Victoria tilts her head slightly, continuing to grip the box in her hands. Oh? She asks in a light voice, but I can see her interest growing. How can you tell that they are milk chocolates? My brain stalls. I freeze, standing there like a complete idiot. A full second drags by in excruciating silence, and in my head, one single thought screams. Fuck! Although Victoria's grin never goes away, it has become too joyful. She taps the box with a delicate finger. Are you two aware of anything regarding the missing chocolate bars? Max stiffens next to me. Her eyes are screaming at me to do this right. I force a dismissive shrug and clear my throat. Well, I mean, this is a cargo hold. Things get shuffled around all the time. 2 bars of chocolate could be anywhere. But 2? 2? Oh. Max, it really isn't that hard. Just type / keep inventory in the console. I recognize my error as soon as I say the words. My wrist is coiled with something tight. I glance down. Max's tail is wrapped around me like a snake, squeezing, not playfully, not teasing. A warning, a very clear, what the hell are you doing? Victoria's face is inscrutable as she tilts her head slightly. Then she taps the box lid once more, while humming. Her gaze focuses on me as she contemplates. Oh, that's interesting, because I don't remember mentioning that there were 2 bars missing. Oh, fuck. Max's tail whips out and gives the back of my head a hard swat before I can completely comprehend what's happening. I'm momentarily stunned by the impact. There's no use in concealing it anymore. My head jerks forward and I expect more, but that's all. Max immediately pulls back, her eyes wide with regret. Oh no, this is the first blushing Max. I'm so sorry! She blurts, almost breathless. I found the bars lying next to the barrel and I didn't know they were yours. Victoria, who's obviously enjoying the light-hearted chaos, chuckles gently from a distance. Oh, you two, I'm not angry at all. This is rather amusing. Victoria's laughter warms the cargo hold, and Max's tail flicks with a mixture of relief and ongoing concern. As the situation transitions into an unexpectedly touching, if a little chaotic, companionship, the tension lessens. Here, split into 3 parts, would you? Split this into 3 parts, would you? The wonderful aroma of cocoa fills the air as I gently unwrap the chocolate bar that Victoria gave me. I attempt to split it as equally as possible by breaking it apart with my fingertips. But I am unsuccessful. In the end, one part is notably larger than the others. I consider trying again after taking a quick look at the uneven chunks, but the chocolate's already beginning to crumble at the edges. It cannot be fixed at this point. I sigh silently and decide what to do. I give Victoria the largest portion, after all. It was she who handed it to us. I then give Max the second largest, and after a moment of eye contact, she accepts it silently. The tiny portion is what's left for me. In the hopes that no one would notice my dubious distribution, I pop it into my mouth. Victoria, however, smiles knowingly as she takes a small bite. How very selfless of you, young man. She muses, her eyes glinting with amusement. Max looks at me sideways while continuing to munch, but she says nothing. Perhaps she is aware. Perhaps she doesn't give a damn. In any case, I ignore it and concentrate on the chocolate that is melting on my tongue. I give a little shrug. Milk chocolate isn't really my #1 preference. I still prefer bitter chocolate. Oh, why didn't you say so? I have that in the other crate. Max looks at me and merely smiles while continuing to munch. Her normal arrogant smile was replaced with a more amused one, as if she had just verified a suspicion she had about me. Bet she didn't believe me at the first time I said I would eat bitter chocolate rather than sweet one. Victoria, however, softens her look and tilts her head slightly. She looks down at the chocolate in her palm and thinks. I see. My husband used to give me these particular ones for our anniversary, so I brought them with me. Max and I are still standing shoulder to shoulder. It should be shoulder to elbow. Listening to Victoria's memories in silence. Her voice is it has a certain quality that endures throughout the years. It is gentle, aloof, and warm. She goes on, letting out a little laugh. He always gave me chocolates, even when I told him I didn't want any. As if he knew better, he would simply grin and give them to me when I told him, Dear, you don't have to do this. She shakes her head and smiles. And the worst thing, he was correct. I would always eat them in the end. Max hums a little as she continues to chew her portion, and I remain silent so the narrative can fully register. It has a certain allure, a window into a world I can only dream of. A spouse who obstinately insists on lavishing his wife with attention despite her objections. A custom that evolved into a silent, enduring show of affection. Victoria looks aside as she takes another bite. I suppose, after all these years, I started looking forward to them. Max, barely above a whisper, murmurs, Can't imagine myself being married. Victoria doesn't, but I nearly miss it. She turns to Max with a casual elegance and smiles teasingly, saying, Oh, don't worry about that, sweetie. You have a gentleman standing directly beside you, after all. I take a sharp breath, too sharp. Suddenly, the last piece of chocolate in my mouth turns against me and lodges itself in my throat. As I attempt to clear my throat, I choke and cough uncontrollably. Cough, cough. Max jolts at the same time, her own chocolate bite betraying her as well. She begins coughing as well, her eyes wide as though she had just been hit by lightning. The noises of two fools choking on chocolate fills the cargo hold for a few agonizing seconds. I couldn't possibly be with someone who snores that loudly. I frown and wipe my lips. Oh, I see. I mean, I can't be with someone who kicks the bunk above her while she's sleeping. Max puts a palm over her chest in a theatrical gasp, as if I had just insulted her whole family. She squints at me and replies, At least I don't smell like human. At least I don't have to shed my skin once a month. Oh no, Dancing Towards Tomorrow reference. Max squints her eyes, preparing to retaliate. When Victoria bursts into a cheerful laugh, she claps her hands together, revealing the mayhem she had just caused. Oh, you two are just delightful. Max and I are left standing there, stuck in our absurd standoff, while Victoria turns on her heel and walks out of the cargo hold with the same ease that she caused this problem. A subtle but distinct sense of movement permeates the ship as we stand there, still looking at one another. Finally, the wind is back, as shown by the soft swaying beneath our feet. Max lets out a content sigh and raises her arms above her head. Well, it appears that you're fortunate, mate. I could stay here while you get to go work. This isn't over. But at least we should resolve our differences now that we've discussed everything. After all, we still share a room. Max smirks while rolling her eyes. Truce. Truce. For now. See you around, mate. With that, I leave the cargo area. Oh, here we go. I guess I could go to the cargo area to see if my little friend is still there. It was like we were just here yesterday. Now, where could he be? He? Are we? Did Max have another gender change? Oh, right, he had a small house. Oh, wait. This is about the Guts impersonator rat. Oh, right, he had a small house between the barrels. I kneel down gently and tap the barrel that should be the entrance to his house. Risotto, are you there? Slowly approaching, he comes out of his secluded space. Hey, buddy, how have you been? Without any fear towards me, he approaches even closer, leaning against my shoe. I just need to talk with someone. I can't sleep. Of course, he doesn't say a word. I still don't know what to do once we reach port. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start. I don't know what's conflicting in my mind recently. Thanks for the support, mate. Watching him clean his face with his little paws makes me giggle. After finishing cleaning his face, he bolts back to his small house between the barrels. I guess it's sleeping time for him as well. Night-night. That doesn't quite clear my mind, but it made me giggle. I guess it's something. I guess I could take a walk on the main deck. I doubt the saloon is open at this hour. Subsume? Hell yeah. Let's get out of here. Let's probably go with her, right? Go with her. And then we have nothing after this, I think. There doesn't look to be anything after this, so this locks us in with Max. According to the guide. Fine, you know what? Let's go check out the cargo hold. As she takes the final mouthful of her meal, Max smiles. Took you long enough. We exit the saloon together, squeezing by a couple of crewmen before going below deck. The air gets colder as we travel farther, and I can smell the smell of salt. I can smell the scent of salt. We shouldn't be repeating words like that, man. Salt, wood, and everything that has been kept. Like I said, the English translation has been done in AI, which kind of sucks. You can feel it, man. Max enters first, looking around briefly while her claws click across the wood floor. She rolls her shoulders and says, I'm going to be moving some stuff around. If you like, you can follow me. I don't really expect much from you, but maybe you might even help. She smirks and gives me a playful look before gesturing in the direction of a corner. Those flour sacks over there are brutal. I swear, they weigh a ton. Consider it done. I go over to one of the sacks, following her gaze. I stoop, grab the scratchy cloth, and lift it up without any thinking. Though manageable, it's undoubtedly weighty. Max is standing there with her mouth almost on the ground as I turn to look at her. How the hell did you just... She blinks as if I just used some black sorcery, her eyes darting between the sacks and me. I give a shrug. This is just the standard weight of the sack. It's really not much of a thing. Max squints. She looks at the flour and then back at me, muttering, Yeah, okay, sure. Next you're going to tell me that you wrestled bears for fun. What did you say? Rather than dismissing it with her typical playful smile, Max simply crosses her arms and shouts it more loudly. I said, yeah, okay, sure. She then averts her gaze, pretending to concentrate on another item in the cargo hold. Her abrupt change in demeanor confuses me. She would normally laugh it off or say something arrogant, but at that moment, she simply appears annoyed. I scowl while continuing to grasp the flour sack. I firmly put the sack down and say, Hey, it's not my fault you can't lift much weight. I am not a manlet! Despite Max's tail flicking, she refuses to look at me. I can lift plenty, just not whatever that was. So what, you mad because I made it look so easy? Her eyes are glowing with something I don't really grasp while she eventually turns back to face me. Oh, just fuck off! She shouts out in a harsh, biting voice. I was absolutely unprepared for that. Max has never acted so hostile towards me before. She turns away, her motion taut and rigid, and I just stand there, dumbfounded. You know, now that I think about it, with the AI translations and Max sounding like a time traveler, I've heard that, I was browsing Twitter one day, and they say that the Grok automatic translations for, like, Japanese people, some of them get, like, they force, like, fucking Zoomer slang, like, FR, like for real, for a translation on some Japanese guy's post, and you could probably make $1 million bet none of that probably said FR. So maybe Max isn't a time traveler, and it's just the AI translations being a complete piece of shit, you know? I'm blaming AI on that. But then again, there was the fist bump, so who knows? I'm at a loss for words for a moment. Something darker has taken the place of a typical light-hearted conversation. I continue to look at Max for a moment, but she remains silent. It's very obvious that she doesn't want me there at that moment, since she has her back to me and her tail's flicking in annoyance. Alright, then I best go out. Hey, who said you could leave? As I go away, she doesn't even give me a look. There was stillness. No mocking comment, no sarcastic jab. It's strange, wrong even. However, I'm not going to stand here and aggravate the situation. Max's Neuralink messing up the translation. I can smell the smell of the ozone, yeah. Speaking of the smell of the ozone, the air is considerably warmer and less tense as I exit the cargo hold and enter the common area. A voice speaks before I begin to gather my thoughts. Victoria. Green? Oh, is this going to be orange? Hey there! That's orange. I gotta put on my orange voice. I turn to see the green-scaled dragon, a member of the crew I don't recognize, come in. He has a laid-back smile, and he starts chatting before I can even ask him who the hell he is. What were you doing in the cargo area? It's a long story. Oh, good. His hands clap together. I love long stories. Speaking of which, I should introduce myself properly. You see, I've been on the ship for a while now. 2 years, actually, give or take a few days. Though I wasn't counting at first. I signed up alongside my brother. Figured it'd be a decent gig. And well, here I am, working my tail off, keeping things running, dealing with all sorts of oddballs on board. Yourself included now, I suppose. He gasps for air. Oh, and the name's Orange, by the way. I blink. That was a lot of information at once. Still, trying to process the sudden whiplash of this conversation, I slowly extend my hand. Anon. Pleasure to meet you, Anon. Without wasting any time, Orange returns to his initial question. So really, what were you doing in the cargo? Exhaling, I'm a little taken aback by Max's response. Wait. Max's response? What? Oh, from down there, okay. I thought, like, Max isn't in this conversation. I was with a friend. She invited me to chill down there, but she just snapped at me out of nowhere. Were you stealing, Anon? Your friend is a cyan dragon? Wait, do you know Max? Yes, in the last several days, we have become friends. Mostly because he keeps my brother in the dark about my laziness in the cargo hold. He? Yeah, him. Max is a girl. How do most dragons not know this? Silence. Orange's expression freezes, and for a moment, it's like I can hear the gears turning in his head. His mouth opens slightly, then closes, then opens again. Huh. Orange looks at the wall blankly, taking in the newly acquired information as if someone had just told him that the sky was actually green. Then he gently faces me again. Okay, listen, you cannot tell my brother I was alone with a girl in the cargo hold for the past few days. Why? Because he'll kill me, or worse, lecture me for hours. I can't resist grinning a little. Relax, it's all between bros. He puts a hand over his chest as if I just saved his life and lets out a sigh of relief. Alright, Anon, you're a real one. The fact that Max is a female still amazes me. It'll take some time for this to settle in. Orange looks at me suspiciously and crosses his arms. So, what happened between you two? I don't know. She became enraged when I just lifted a sack of flour and told her it wasn't a big issue. Orange tilts his head and hums. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but are you sure you didn't do anything else? Well, I did ask her why she got mad, and then I said it wasn't my fault she couldn't lift much weight. Orange instantly slams his palm on his forehead with his eyes when his eyes enlarge. Oh, sweet primordial dragon, you are a jerk, bro. What? Dude, have you thought about how much taller you are than Max, like, at all? My brow furrows. What are you talking about? Orange looks at me as if I just inquired as to why the water is wet. You seriously don't get it? No, I don't. There's a moment of stillness between us, and then I realize Max is small. She hardly reaches my chest in comparison. She isn't built for heavy lifting, and when I give it some serious thought, she has never carried anything heavier than a toolbox as far as I can tell. Oh. Oh. Yeah, you are a jerk. Not the worst kind, but still a jerk. I didn't mean it like that. Yes, I understand. Even if you didn't want to be rude, guess what? You still were. Fuck. You essentially made fun of her for being smaller and weaker than you. Man, you have to say you're sorry. Knowing he's right, I sigh. I never really argued with Max before. At least not to this extent. I don't want our relationship to remain strange. Yeah, I will. I just don't know if she wants to see me right now. Give it a moment, but don't wait too long, or she might actually start hating you. Orange puts a hand on my shoulder and smiles. Look, I have a lot of friends. Even if I may not be the smartest person in the world, and the greatest advice I can provide, based on what I've learned, is... Orange! Sharp voice cuts through the common area, making both of us turn. Standing a few steps away is another dragon, identical to Orange, except for the absolute fury in his eyes. Oh, hey, Vert. With a swift swish of his tail, Vert charges towards us. I've been searching everywhere for you. What on earth have you been up to? I'll be with you in a second, bro. After giving him a long look, Vert sighs in frustration and walks away, saying something to himself as he goes. Orange shrugs casually and goes back to me after seeing him leave. Well, duty calls. Good luck with Max, jerk. Suddenly, I find myself standing by myself, still contemplating what happened. Orange is right. I must apologize. Even if I would like to give Max a little more space, waiting around won't make everything better. I turn on my heel and make my way back to the cargo hold, keeping that notion in mind. My gaze instantly focuses on Max as soon as I enter. She is carrying a little wooden box that isn't much bigger than a toolbox, but she is clearly having trouble with it. She moves with meticulous, cautious movements, as if losing it would be catastrophic, and her arms and tails are rigid. I catch her eye almost immediately. Her face hardens and her ears perk up. Oh, you're back. What, here to mock me some more? Her voice is harsh and defensive as she lashes out. I strengthen myself by taking a big breath. No, I'm here to say I'm sorry. Max remains still. She scoffs rather than softens, and her look remains strong. Sorry? She moves the box in her hands, adjusting her grasp and squirming a little. And what exactly are you sorry for? For what I said earlier, I didn't mean to... Because I'm small? Because of my size? Because everyone believes I need help? Or perhaps because I'm never thought of as being able to achieve anything by myself? She has a fire in her eye that wasn't there before, and her tail flicks furiously behind her. It's no longer just about me. She has been accumulating this for some time. Max doesn't even give me an opportunity to respond. She shakes her head and laughs bitterly. You know what? Forget it. Her claws bite into the wood as she leaves the box on the floor. I start to say something, but she interrupts me once again while her tail wags behind her. You just don't get it, do you? A tall man like you wouldn't comprehend. Moving around as if nothing is difficult. As if carrying grains of sack is as little as if... She narrows her eyes at me and huffs. Like you have the right to act all superior just because you got a few extra inches on your head. You know, I know a disabled alligator that'd love to meet you right now. She stops and gives a cold grin. Who the fuck is calling me? That's a name I don't know. You're going on silent. Get out of here. Oh, hang on. There aren't any additional inches there, are there? Not having to worry about all that hair getting in your face must be really convenient. Does she just... Yeah, real convenient. I mean, you don't even need hair when you're too busy looking down on everyone else, right? Staring at her, I'm totally in shock. She truly went for that statement out of all the things she might have said. Oh, hell nah. You want to go there? All right. At least I won't have to climb like a stupid squirrel to get to this top shelf. Max's eyes narrow into slits after gently widening. Oh, so that's how it is. She sighs and slams the box on the floor. Well, at least I don't have to worry about my head looking like a polished egg every time I step into the sun. Yeah, well, at least I don't need a stepping stool to see my own reflection in the bathroom mirror. Lashing her tail, Max takes a step forward. At least I don't blind people when the lights hit my head at the wrong angle. I narrow my eyes. Gremlin. There it is. There it is. Cue ball. Knee-high lizard. Walking lantern. Oh, I have a voicemail. Hold on. I gotta check this. Okay, I just got off the voicemail. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break and then we'll be right back at this, so give me a sec. Alright, we're good. Back to the fight. Fun size. Oh, wait, that's A, no, not Max. Fun size. Wax coconut. Half a dragon. Kobold. Say kobold. Half a hairline! We're practically nose to nose now, eyes locked in a furious, childish battle. Neither of us backing down, neither of us willing to let the other have the last word. We both breathe a little more heavily from our pettiness as we stand there, trapped in a silly stare-down. There's a lot of tension in the air. We both start laughing a second later. Max almost passes out, holding onto her sides. Sweet primordial dragon, I'd never been called that many names before. Yeah, well, that wax coconut one felt personal. It was. Alright, truce, Baldy. Let's go get something to eat. All the cruel name-calling spiked my appetite. Truce, short stack. Well, short stack implies there's a stack of something here that Max does not have. Max doesn't even have A cups, buddy. Short stack. With that, we leave the cargo hold and make our way to the saloon. There are only a few crew members strewn about, taking their breaks, and the scene appears cozy. My tummy rumbles at the lingering aroma of freshly baked bread and something sweet, like ozone. We get inside, and Max stops abruptly. Crap! What now? I forgot to secure one of the boxes with straps. She turns around and clicks her tongue. Well, here I am, alone again. I waited in line, although I shouldn't have since I'm technically an officer, but I prefer to respect the ones that were waiting before me. Finally. Oh boy, here we go. New rich guy dialogue. It all went to her tail. That's true. It's time to get some replacement surgeries. It's time to put the tail fat in the other areas. As I'm about to leave the saloon, my shoulder feels an incredible pressure, almost hurting. I turn around to see a well-dressed dragon gripping my shoulder. Oi, you're part of the crew, aren't you? Yeah. Good. Come take my seat. I just finished eating and I need to talk with someone from the crew. I sit on the table as he releases my shoulder. Listen, kiddo, my wife has been bothering me since we haven't even seen your wife, buddy. She wants some wine and I think we could arrange a deal. But sir, I knew I could count on you. You're gonna have this in return. He hands me a box of matches. The long and expensive ones. I don't have a use for them, so you can have them. So, do we have a deal? Good, see you later. He left before I could say something back. Prick. Anyway, time to eat. Zip-zoom. I lean against the railing to take a big breath of the salty air as I step back out into the deck. The ship is rolling softly under me while the waves go on forever. I gaze out for a time, allowing my thoughts to wander. It is too silent. I groan and tap my fingertips against the railing. Before boredom kills me, I should definitely find something to do. Max. I've already bothered her enough, but a little more won't hurt. I scan the room, expecting to see Max sorting through the crates or grumbling to herself about something. But she is not here. Max! Between the piled items, my voice resonates a little, but nobody answers. Odd. Usually present, she ensures that everything remains in its proper position. Maybe she's off somewhere else for once. In the corner, a neatly arranged pile of flour sacks catches my attention. They appear to be rather sturdy, better than a hard floor, but not quite a feathered mattress. I walk over and push my hand to test the top bag. Just enough give, but solid. Good enough. Without a second thought, I climb up and stretch out. Letting out a satisfied sigh, the ship rocks gently beneath me, the distant sounds of a crew above blending into a dull hum. A quick nap won't hurt, just for a little while. You say that in the age of no alarm clocks, buddy. Darkness. Absolute, deep and boundless. Nothing exists, no weight, no shape, no sound. The silence that goes on forever. I'm not sure if I'm seeing nothing, or if my eyes are closed. Here, time does not exist. Here, I don't exist. Oh no, Max. Well, there's the next thumbnail. Actually, no, we already used one of these thumbnails, so can't use this one again. Then light. Anon doesn't dream of the other girls. What's going on, Anon? It enters from someplace, dim and far away, like the first rays of morning through dense fog. As it retreats into whirling blue mists, the darkness becomes softer. I feel a comfortable, lulling swaying that is gentle and regular. I blink. Water, its smooth, pristine surface envelops me on all sides and stretches indefinitely. I'm sitting, not standing, and the only sound is a little creak of the wood underneath me. Instinctively, my hands press against it. A boat. Little, easy, alone. But I'm not alone. A person standing still in front of me. Around her, a cyan light that is neither solid nor air shimmers, changing like the waves. She tilts her head slightly as she observes me. The first thing that comes to me that... Wait, why is she... Oh, the family-friendly version, yeah. Yeah, the one that's not on Steam. The first thing that comes to me is that I could grab her by the nose, or, if she has it all, pull her tail. The thought persists. Pull the tail, honks the nose. Oh, we gotta do this one. Oh. We'll do the nose first. Without thinking, I reach out and honk at her nose. There's stillness for a while, then slowly, intentionally, her face changes into a diabolical one. Her eyes narrow with pleasure and something else. Something dangerous, something AI, and her cyan glow pulses a little. I'll honk something else if you do that again, she says in a smooth but mischievously edged voice. Or maybe I'll cut it off. Or maybe I'll just punch you in the face. It's time to wake up. The environment around me starts to change once again before I even consider answering. Like if the mist is lifting and exposing something cold and sharp underneath. The impression of movement, actual movement, replaces the boat's wavering and eventually vanishing. Just as I hear footsteps coming, Max's voice breaks through the mist. Stop dreaming on the damn sacks of flour. Now back here, so we'll... You know, we eat that. We'll pull her tail. Pull tail. I instinctively move my hand. I see the tail behind her, glimmering slightly, and before I can stop myself, I tug it. Her entire body stiffens as she jolts. She slowly turns to look at me, her brilliant body momentarily flickering. Then, in the most implausible, casual tone, she asks... Oh god, it's the lips again. Why would you pull my lever? My brain stutters. Your what? Tail. Those are not the words I picked. What is going on? She simply looks as if she's waiting for a real response. It's time to wake up. Okay. So she reacts a little better with her tail, I guess. Also, I had a mental breakdown coding. Her nose is inspired on Yoshi and an actual crocodile. Ah. I rub my face, still trying to shake off the remnants of whatever I was just experiencing. The world around me is solid, real, nothing like the boat or the glowing figure. Fair enough. I mumble, blinking and pushing myself up from the stack of flour sacks. I just got a bit too comfortable, and it wasn't my intention. Well, next time, maybe dream somewhere else. Still trembling from the remnants of my slumber, I stretch my arms when Max abruptly stops in the middle of her walk. Also, her tail flicks once lazily. I wait, raising an eyebrow. No, you can't honk my nose, and you definitely can't pull my tail. My mind stops working. What? She looks at me sharply while crossing her arms. You talk in your sleep, loudly. Hasn't it been like one whole week? And we literally sleep in the same bunk as her. So, why would she tell us this now? My face twitches. I do not. You do. She smirks now, obviously having fun with this. You were murmuring that you should just grab something, and then all of a sudden you said, I should pull her tail. She mimics my voice, making it sound far less intelligent than I would have thought. And then you laughed. I look at her in horror. That's not a horror face, Anon. I figured I should clear things up before you got any ideas. And with a smug grin, she flicks her tail once more and starts walking away. I groan, rubbing my face. Great. Zip-zoom, zip-zoom, zip-zoom. Oh, now we're with Vert. Anon didn't have dreams yet. It was all white noise before. All it took was a fucking midget. I entered the common area just before I go to the boiler room. A dragon seems to be chilling, pretending to be lost in thought. The lowercase I, too. Hey, mate. Do you work there? In the boiler room, I mean. He gives me a quick glance while maintaining his customary guarded manner. You were down here early. Alright, sorry, I'm in a rush. I'm looking for the ship's engineer. Oh yeah, we've done this. My thoughts turned to yesterday, even though we briefly argued. It had been nice to spend some time with Max. We quickly settled the issue, which was really a disagreement about immaturity and nothing else. Perhaps I ought to see how she's doing. I head for the cargo area after thinking that. I enter and take a quick look around, looking for the dragoness in the dark room. I see her almost instantly, sprawled out on the same flour sacks that I was warned not to sleep on the day before. Her tail hangs languidly over the edge of the sack, flickering gently with each sluggish breath, and her arms are folded beneath her head. A smug smile tugs at my lips, and I halt dead in my tracks, crossing my arms. Oh, this is perfect. I could confront her about it and wake her up right now, but what fun would that be? No, this is the kind of thing best saved for later, when she least expects it. Maybe I'll bring it up next time she tries to act all proper and by the book. Oh, but Max, aren't the sacks off limits? It takes willpower not to laugh, and I can already imagine her response. Too bad we don't have cameras yet. I just watch her sleep for the time being while the ship's gentle noise shifts in around us. This makes the cargo hold feel nearly peaceful, with the typical hull moans and creaks becoming inconspicuous. I lean against the crate and consider letting her sleep or teasing her in some manner. I give her time to sleep, maybe 5 seconds. Or not. I take a big breath, smile to myself, and then I shout, "Abandon ship!" Max wakes up as if she's been hit by lightning, her body responding before her head can even process the information. Like a spring, she leaps back from the sacks and lands with a thump on the floor. For a brief moment, her face is filled with pure terror as her tail flares, and her claws raise the wooden boards. What? What happened? She shouts, eyes darting around wildly. Are we sinking? Is there a fire? Where's the captain? I can no longer contain myself when she finally looks me in the eye. My ribs hurt from laughing so hard that I double over. In an instant, her frenetic look turns into something terrible. You! She points a claw at me, realization dawning. You absolute jerk! I swear you're dead! She rushes at me, and I can hardly avoid her as I continue to wheeze. I barely avoid Max's next lunge because I'm laughing too much and my legs are weak. You bare-headed buffoon! Chrome-domed goblin! Wax-polished weasel! I'm having trouble breathing. I can't see well because I'm crying. Between bursts of hysterical laughing, I gasp and hold my stomach while hunched over. Hold on! Hold on to what? Your last strand of hair? Glass-headed pest! That one gets me good, wheezing like a forgotten steam pipe. On the verge of bursting, I double over. Max narrows her eyes and grins wickedly when she sees how I'm feeling. Oh, you think this is funny, huh? Funny? I can only nod, still panting and smiling, just as she hurls a crate directly at me. Well, it must be like Lego-sized. She is tensing up, about to lunge once again, and I prepare to dodge, but she stops just before she does. My body responds more quickly than my mind. I try sidestepping, expecting an assault that never shows up, but before I can get back up, my foot hooks on something, either a loose board or my own foolishness. On my back, flat, gazing up at the ceiling, a dull ache is creeping up my back, yet I'm still breathless from laughing. A long, unimpressed sigh follows. Max is standing over me with her arms crossed, and one brow so high it almost touches the cargo hold ceiling when I slightly angle my head. Her tail flicks behind her as she simply looks at me. Seriously? I blink. Then, in spite of the pain, in spite of everything, an additional chuckle emerges. You didn't even touch me. Max groans and runs a hand across her face. I should have. Would have saved you the trouble of embarrassing yourself. Worth it. Max gives me a stern shake of her head. I'm getting a coffee. I'll be back shortly. While I'm away, try not to break your own neck. Or do. No promises. With a sigh, she leaves, vanishing through the door leading to the common area. I stretch for a bit, and then get to my feet, shaking the dust from my clothes. A second later, I hear the door creak open once more. It's gonna be Rich Guy, ain't it? I blink. Max must have forgotten something. Maybe she realized she left her cup down here, or... It's not Max, and the door swings completely open. Yep, I was right. The Rich Guy. I freeze. Every muscle tensing in my mind slams to a halt. Crap. The Rich Guy enters with his typical arrogant smile, as if he owns the place. He looks around slowly, his gaze darting to the flour sacks and then to me as if he discovered something intriguing. Well, well, what do we have here? He drawls, tucking his hands behind his back. What do you want? He lets out a soft chuckle, taking a few casual steps ahead, like he's simply strolling. Oh, nothing in particular. I'm just stretching my legs, feeling around the ship and observing. His self-satisfied smile grows as he tilts his head. You can only imagine how shocked I was to see a shiny dragoness dozing off on our food when I happened to glance inside. My jaw tightens. He shakes his head in feigned despair and clicks his tongue. You know, on a transatlantic vessel like this, food contamination is a serious matter. His voice oozes fake concern, but his eyes gleam with something else. Enjoyment. With my connections, I could have her thrown in prison for that. At my sides, my hands clench into fists, My blood is already boiling, but I maintain a neutral attitude. I maintain my composure while making a tight grin strain at the corner of my lips. You've got no evidence. You got not evidence. The rich guy's eyes shine with arrogance as his smile broadens as he approaches. Evidence? I don't need evidence when I have connections. As though disclosing some kind of secret, he leans forward and lowers his voice. But I could make this disappear if you're willing to do something for me. What? He straightens, his hands folding behind his back once again, as though he were the one extending an offer. Simple. There's an expensive bottle in the cargo hold. If you get your hands on it and bring it to me, I'll pretend I never saw this incident. I open my lips before I can say anything. He smirks at me, making my skin crawl, and turns on his heel. I'll leave you to think about it. And then, without saying anything further, he leaves the room, going through the door. I stand there for a second, fuming and my mind racing. What the heck happened? Hey, Dr. Coconut. Can we switch this dude down already? What? You gotta admire, wait. Mark at the translation, fucking up again. You gotta admire how it gets bugged and starts changing words. Also, this is getting a CG now as we speak. Alright. A bit later, Max and I are sitting in the cabin, with a particular silence hanging in the air. It's the first time we've sat together on the bench during this entire journey. The normal banter has disappeared, replaced by something unsaid. Max is lying back, her eyes half closed, gazing about the room, most likely lost in meditation. I, on the other hand, pretend to be reading her book. I'm turning over the pages, but my focus isn't on the text. It's still in the cargo area, reliving the interactions with the rich guy. He had a smug expression on his face and nonchalantly threatened Max as if it was nothing. Even though I am aware that he is attempting to force me into performing his dirty job, I can't help but believe that this is more than just a straightforward deal. Max moves next to me, her eyes darting to the book I'm holding. How am I already yawning? You're not really reading it, are you? I noticed that I've been looking at the same line for the last few minutes when I look down at the page I'm holding. Not really. Got a lot on my mind. Are you overthinking something? That's a first, by the way. It is sarcasm. Oh, by the way, it is sarcasm. I can't get that guy's threat out of my head. It's nothing, just something I have to figure out. I can see she's interested, even though Max doesn't push it. She looks at me carelessly as she lays back on the seat with her tail coiled around her legs. Well, if you need to talk, I'm here. I give her a quick look as I think about it. I'm on the verge of telling her, but the matter is too serious. What the rich guy may do next is more important than the wine or the threat. It's time for water, which I'm almost out of. I'm gonna go grab more water. It's starting to thunder out there, so if the power goes out, we'll just call it a stream. I'll be right back. I gotta stop yawning. Yeah, sorry about the little wait. I had to put in more water in the fridge. Check DMs literally as we speak. It's getting drawn. Okay. No. Oh, nice. We got a certain sprite of an Aquilops draw over, kind of. That's great. Anyways, I give her a quick look as I think about it. Wait, no, I read that. Thanks. Max leans over and takes the book from my grasp before I can respond. I only borrowed it to you if you were actually interested, but if you're just going to stare at the pages, then I'm going back to finishing it. All right, you win. I was just distracted. She opens the book, evidently returning to the narrative, but then she glances up at me, her eyes gentler than before. You know, if something's bothering you, you don't have to keep it to yourself. For a split second, I consider telling her everything. The rich guy, the blackmail, the deal, but the words clog my throat. I can't bring myself to say it just yet. I don't want to pull her into this mess, especially because it may not even lead to anything. Instead, I simply nod and sit back, letting Max become engrossed in the book once more. The smooth flip of the pages, the only sound between us, even though my mind is still racing. The silence between us is calming in some way. By the way, I'm poisoning your food for throwing my clothes on the bench. Oh yeah, this. I remember that happens. Zip zoom. We glance at each other, no words, no smirk, just that brief silent agreement, and we both rise from our table at the same time. Ooh. My God, I'm gonna have to end the stream sooner than later if I keep yawning, because I don't want to yawn through this. It's rude. So I'll give it like one. If I yawn again, I'm cutting it. I'm sorry. Hey, wait. Hey, wait. That was a joke, you two. By the time we push open the door and step onto the main deck, the cold rain hits like a wall. It soaks through my shirt instantly, and Max's mane flattens against her neck. I saw some rope near the cargo hold. She doesn't look at me, doesn't grin. She's serious, or she's really, really good at pretending. Behind us, I hear the saloon door creak again. Hey, little one, Giovannato, that is not what I meant. We keep walking. Neither of us say a word. We're absolutely going to do this. What, are we using Max's bait? By the time we reach our cabin, we're both dripping. The corridor lights flicker as the ship groans and shifts again. One of those sudden lurches that make you plant a hand on the wall without thinking. Max pushes the cabin door open with her shoulder, then steps inside. Shaking the rain from her shirt, her tail flicks a few drops at me. I know it was on purpose, and grunt as I close the door behind us. She crouches beside the lower bunk and gestures me to pass her the rope. So do we tie it around our torso, or do... Oh, this part. Yeah, the sleeping in the bunk bed thing. So do we tie it around our torsos, or do we lash ourselves straight to the frame like panicking livestock? I stare at the rope and the bunk. I've got no idea. This is going to be complicated. The ship rocks again, harder this time, and I grab the edge of the top bunk to stay upright. One of our boots skids across the floor with a squeak. Max holds the rope in both hands, thoughtfully. Hey, you're not one of those weirdos that like being tied up, are you? Seriously? Because if you pull out a gag, I'm not hesitating. Right through the porthole. You act like a goblin sometimes, you know that? She looks way too proud of herself. I crouch down next to her as we start threading the rope underneath the bunk frame. The wood creaks in protest. We both pause, looking at it like it might collapse just from the idea of what we're about to do. No clue how to make this stay put. The knots that I know how to do are too tight for this. Just tie it for do not strangle during sleep. Good standard. The rope makes an awful grinding sound against the metal brackets under the bed as we loop it around. It's awkward, sloppy, and probably wildly inefficient. But we're doing it anyway. Good enough. Max tugs at it with both claws, testing the tension. Yeah, well, if I wake up on the floor, I'm blaming you anyway. Fair enough. She stands, stretching a little before glancing up at my bunk. For yours, you should leave the rope ends hanging down. I'll tie them from below. Keep it tight. So you're the one into tying people up now. She narrows her eyes, mock offended. You interested in the porthole idea from earlier? Nope. Mm-hmm. She snatches the rest of the rope from my hands with a smug little flick of her tail. Now get up there before you fall asleep and crack your skull open in the night. I'm not scraping your brains off the floor. You're all charmed, gremlin. Gremlin charm. I stretch the rope across the top bunk, looping it around the frame like Max suggested, and let the ends dangle over the side so they'll be easier to grab later. It takes a minute to figure out the best way to run them without making it look like some kind of insane death trap. Max watches from below, arms crossed, tail flicking absently behind her. You planning on tying up a prisoner or just trying to survive your nap? This is survival engineering. You wouldn't understand. I'm the one who suggested tying you from below, genius. Right, which makes you an accessory. Accessory to what? Whatever this ends up being. The ship tilts again, not sharply, but enough to remind me that the sea is still in a mood today. I should head up to the wheelhouse. Ship's about to start. Max rolls her shoulder and flops down on the lower bunk with a satisfied thud. Have fun pretending you have energy to stay awake. Right back at you, bunk goblin. Don't forget I'm the one holding your safety ropes tight. Lamp oil rope bombs, you want it? She makes a vague, non-committal sound, something between a hum and a growl as I open the door and step back into the corridor. Time to get to work. In contrast to this chilly drizzle outside, the air indoors feels... Oh, wait, we've been through this. By the time I make it to the saloon, I'm barely keeping my eyes open. The place is dead. No voices, no clatter of dishes, not even a crew member pretending to sweep. Just an empty table that low hums the ship. But empty table and that low hum the ship always makes when it's moving through rough waters. And then the rich guy, right? I push through into the kitchen, hoping to smell something warm. Anything with caffeine. Nope. The chef is sitting there by himself, feet up on the crate, flipping through some thick old book. He looks up when I walk in, frowning a little. Damn, you look like shit. I just nod. Coffee? Another nod. That's a shame. Didn't make any. Fuck. Hardly anyone showed for breakfast. Didn't feel like hauling a coffee sack up. Still sitting down in the cargo. I just stand there for a second, brain too tired to decide if I'm mad, disappointed, or just done. You can go grab it if you're desperate. No, you might fall asleep halfway down the stairs. I sigh, rubbing my face. I hate the ship, and the sea, and Davy Jones. Yeah, well, get in line. I turn around without a word and start heading towards the cargo hold like I'm wading through molasses. Every step feels like twice the effort it should be. I don't even lift my boots properly. Just drag them across the floor like I'm hoping friction alone will teleport me there. Hey, be careful. I give a lazy wave over my shoulder. That's not even a real gesture, just a kind of half-assed flap that says I heard you, and that's all you're getting. The ship gives another slow tilt, not much, but enough to throw off my balance a little. I stop for a second, stare at the wall, and keep going. Not gonna lie, I just joined and thought Max was a dude, okay. By the time I make it to the common area near the crew cabins, I'm basically operating on fumes. The door to the cargo hold is just ahead. I'm so close I can practically smell the beans. Hey, mate. Oh, it's orange shit. I blink at him, or through him. Hard to tell. You alright? You look like someone wrung you out and left you in the bilge. Bilge? I don't know. I try to say something, anything, but the words just don't show up. I kind of tilt my head instead, hoping that's enough to communicate the deep soul-level exhaustion I'm swimming in. Orange nods knowingly. Oh yeah, I used to look just like you back during the rain season, back when we worked those long double shifts out on the coast. Ugh. Drenched to the bone, cold wind tearing through your clothes, and no coffee for days. I nod slightly. Please let me pass. But you know what really hits you? A cold, hard fist to the face. It's not the wet, it's the low, soggy chill that gets into your bones. You try to sleep it off, but your body's just humming from the motion of the ship, and your head won't shut up, and then you get dreams, real weird ones. I had one about a sea cow once. Don't ask. Actually, no. Ask me. I'll tell you. Oh, no. Is this where it gets trippy? Blank. My brain just gives up. Everything he's saying becomes white noise. My eyes are open, but nothing's going in. It's like I hit a wall. Not a physical one. Just a complete system shutdown. I stand there, staring at the door to the cargo hold, knowing there's coffee on the other side, but no longer remembering why I care. Orange's voice is still going in the background, cheerful and endless. Please. Just 5 seconds of silence. 5. Sound fades back in like someone slowly turning the volume knob on my brain. Orange's voice slips back into focus mid-sentence. And that's how I lost a pair of socks. I blinked, dazed, not even sure how much time had just passed. He's still looking at me like we're deep in meaningful conversation, waiting for some reaction. Maybe awe, maybe sympathy. Orange, I really need that coffee before I pass out on the floor. He pauses, mouth still slightly open like he's ready to launch into another story. But something in my face must finally register. His eyes soften a little, and he steps aside without another word. Right, yeah, go get your fix, man. I nod, not even bothering to thank him. The door to the cargo hold creaks open as I push through it, and I swear, if that sack of beans isn't there, I'm turning this whole ship around. Lazy wave, and that Spanish doesn't even exist. In Spanish, it's just le hago un gusto, gesto, which means I do a gesture. The door groans shut behind me as I step into the cargo hold, and right away the smell hits me. Dust, oil, rope, bombs, damp wood. It's cool. And it's a little too quiet in here, except for the occasional metallic creak and the rain thudding softly above. I stop just inside the doorway, staring, because I realize I have no idea where the damn coffee sack actually is. The chef said it was down here, sure, but the place is a maze, piles of crates and barrels and sacks stacked half neatly, half chaotically, depending on Max's definition of organizing. Everything looks the same, beige, brown, gray, burlap everywhere. This is hell. If Max were here, she'd probably know exactly where it was, or at least she'd pretend she did while climbing over everything until she accidentally stumbled on it. I almost reached for my pocket out of habit, ready to ask her. Now that I think about it, Why do I always reach for my pocket when I'm about to talk? My eyes go straight to a pile of sacks. Max is there in the midst of the chaos, lying across two large flour bags like a cat that has given up on life. Fast asleep. Mouth slightly open, tail twitching every now and then. One leg hanging over the edge like she tried to get comfortable and just gave up halfway through. There's even a little bit of flour dust on her cheek. She must have come down here looking for something too and just decided to quit. Seriously? I don't even know if I'm annoyed or impressed. Probably both. Max shifts a little, blinking one eye open like she's trying to remember what year it is. Her voice comes out slow, slurred with sleep. What are you doing down here? Need coffee. Max blinks at me and lets her head fall back against the sack, like even answering is too much effort. That's a shame, because I'm currently lying on top of them. My eyes flicker down to the sacks under her, and then the sack behind her. Sure enough, tucked away halfway behind the flour, I catch a glimpse of the label. Cafe, of course. I don't say anything. I think I actually can't. Max slowly props herself up on one elbow, squinting at me. Her brow furrows just a little. You really don't look good, like worse than usual. I just stare at her, one hand resting against a wood crate for balance. Want me to roll over so you can get your stupid beans? I nod slowly, then point vaguely at the sacks under her. Just roll over or something. Give me space before I pass out right here. I'm gonna pass out. Max grumbles something under her breath, but she stretches out and shifts to the side, her tail flopping lazily across the flour bags. It's just enough room for me to sit down beside them without climbing over. Want a nap? I already caught a few minutes, so I've got, like, a little more energy now. Still dying, but less. Yeah, wake me up in 10. She yawns and adjusts her head on the sack again, eyes already half-lidded. Eventually, everything fades out fast after that. The sound of the ship, the distant rattle of the rain, the soft thump of Max's tail settling again. It all blends into one long, sleepy hum. Just 10 minutes, maybe. Yeah, well, we'll continue this one later. I'm sleeping. I'm tired. Well, I'm not tired. It's just I'm yawning, and I don't want to, like, yawn through all this, you know? I don't like to yawn through the VNs. It's just rude. Even if you're being rude to a VN, it's not the right kind of rude, you know? Looking at Dancing Towards Tomorrow. But yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna schedule the next one. Maybe Thursday or Friday, because Wednesday's already... I usually pace these every other day, but Wednesday's already accounted for, so... Thursday or Friday. We'll see. I'm gonna hop off and... hopefully get the things sorted out with my sleep, because like 2 days ago, I woke up at, what, 2 a.m.? And it's been hard to, like, get my sleeping schedule back since then. That's rude, but it's not in a humorous way. Oh yeah, like being rude with Dancing Towards Tomorrow. Yeah, there's nothing funny about yawning and being tired and all that. I don't mind if you yawn. I know my story sucks, so I'm trying to improve it. It's not that, it's just sometimes like I don't get enough sleep, I guess, or something. And it hits me. That's why I try to stream earlier, you know, 5 o'clock streams. And even then, I guess sometimes I get tired. I don't know what it is, but I gotta figure out myself with that shit, man. I have so many problems on my plate. So you're still planning to stream after this or not? I don't know. Because if I'm playing Serialim, I'm probably going to be yawning left and right. I don't know. I really don't know about that one. I've only gotten 4 hours of sleep a day for 7 years. I feel that. I mean, I go to bed at like, what, around 9-ish? And I'll wake up at like 3 or 4. And you might think that's a lot of sleep. But like, it doesn't feel like it. It really doesn't feel like it. Like, I may sleep, but I don't like register the sleep, I guess. My body's just too fucked up or something. I mean, I do fall asleep with the TV on, but I put it on a sleep timer and all that. I don't know. Same, especially now that I work with people from different time zones. I fall asleep at around 3, 4 a.m. and wake up at around 9 a.m. Yeah, when I wake up at the morning, if I wake up at like 2, I'm pretty much fucked. I mean, I could probably get it back to sleep at 1. But like when I wake up that early and it's like, oh, I can't get back to sleep, so I'll just turn on the computer and just browse. Like like I said, I have the computer in my bed, so I browse while in bed. And suddenly 2 a.m. turns into like 4:30 a.m. and it's just like, fuck, well, I guess there's no getting back to sleep. Menu change, it's a handkerchief. Yeah, that's from Eris's ending, I think. Were you not there? I'm wondering what Max is going to be. Is it going to be the chocolate? It's a napkin from her restaurant. Alright. I'm surprised it's not like we don't get the little wood statue too. Like things don't start adding up. I think that would have been cool. Like every ending there's more added on. No, it gets flat out replaced. But yeah, I know I've tried, what is it, melatonin, and people suggest that, but like, I can only take that for like so long. I try to stick to a schedule with that. I'll take the melatonin and the first few nights will be nice, but then like once I'm like hooked, well not hooked, but like I'm steady with the melatonin, it will start literally fucking with me worse than if I didn't take it, it's so weird. Like, I'll be, like, half asleep and my mouth will just feel like it's been ravaged. Like, my teeth will be, like, my teeth will feel like they're on sideways or some shit, man. Like, my teeth are falling out. Like, I feel that shit while on the melatonin. It's just like I'm half asleep. It's like a paralysis demon. I don't know anyone who would willingly want to go through with that. That's a good idea. I'm gonna do it. To be fair, there is space for all the stuff. Just need to stretch the desk. Or just make the assets smaller, I don't know. Yeah, I should probably get going. The dev watching, write that down, yeah. It's always nice to have devs on when you're streaming the projects or mods. Yeah, I should probably get going. How about this? If I don't feel more awake within the hour, I'll probably just stream tomorrow then. I take a muscle relaxing pill sometimes when I really need to sleep, but my doctor doesn't recommend it since I have dysautonomia. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'm really reluctant on like using like certain medicines while sleeping because I know they put me on I think it was a pill for nerves because they were trying to figure out my tailbone back then, and I take that shit. I wake up when my jaw's just so sore from clenching in my sleep because it's bad enough when you're a person who grinds their teeth in their sleep. But to be full-on clenching just hurts. I have really shit genetics, man. Sometimes you regret being born when you're in your 30s, dude. 3 weeks on the mini games, and it's like WarioWare, but it's 3 weeks themed. Basically, I'm the type of people who passes out when I'm really tired. I've never passed out. Like, if I can't, like, be comfortable to sleep, I'll be up just miserable. Like, I've suffered insomnia very seldomly. When the insomnia starts, like, there's like parts of when I fall asleep, I can feel myself fall asleep, but then I like stop breathing and I wake up and I'm just like, and it's just that shit wakes me up even more. It's like I can't get to sleep. I can't get to sleep. And being as it is hot in here now again, like it's gonna be a bitch fucking falling asleep tonight. That's for sure. I'd open up the window, but it's fucking storming out, so it's gonna be raining all night. So that's great. Oh, tonight's gonna be awful. That's gonna suck because I got plans for tomorrow. Spending the day with my mom. It's just, it sucks. I told her I didn't want to be crabby for tomorrow. And God's just like, no, you're gonna be crabby. I learned how to sleep standing since school. Cyclobenzapine. Wait, cyclobenzaprine. I've heard that before. Maybe they said, maybe someone threw that at me once. I don't know. One of those, and you just fall asleep an hour later. I mean, I've been on muscle relaxers too, and those make me feel fucking dead. There was a triazepam, or what was it? They've thrown so many medicines at me to try and fucking figure me out. And it made me feel like I wasn't there, like it's just like, oh. Like having to be awake on muscle relaxers just fucking sucks. You just feel like a zombie ghost. I spend money on sleep medicines when you have club. No, I don't like rearranging my face. But yeah, I've explained my sleep ritual of putting on a Numinous Part 1 and throwing on a nighttime snow walking videos. Those are usually my go-to for getting ready to sleep. It might help with, like, getting to sleep the first part of the night, but if I'm waking up in the middle of the night, like, I'm fucked. That's usually a gamble if I fall back asleep. This one was recommended to me because when I started doing scuba diving, I got a tendency of clenching my jaw during the night. So it relaxes my jaw and makes me sleep. I mean, my jaw doesn't have pain. Well, it does have pain when yawning sometimes. That's why I just don't want to be, like... Another reason why I don't want to do these and yawn is because ever since the fucking wisdom teeth extractions, it's a gamble whether my yawns hurt or not, too. That's always fun. It was Jeep fucking dentists, too. Back before I became fucking red-pilled on them, man. God damn. Never again. That was the thing called in the movies, they put a rag on... Wait, they put on a rag and put on face and makes people sleep. Are you talking about one of those sleeping masks? Blindfolds or whatever? I have one of those. It's nice. If I truly want to fall asleep during the day, it helps, I guess. Chloroform? Oh, we're talking about substances. And I don't. It sounds like chloroform to me. Parker, what's good? We're wrapping up the stream. But yeah, I should get going. I honestly should probably just focus on being comfortable and getting to bed, I guess, because I do have a day ahead of me tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Big L for me, yeah. I'll catch you guys later. I'll probably put the stream for Thursday, and if that doesn't work, I'll push it to Friday. We'll see. Take it easy.